welcome to our vinyasa class today. I'm Helga and I'm so happy to have you here. Tune in for the practice, and it is the winter, January kind of New Year, mood, and I know that we can feel a little bit resistant to move, and we just naturally want to stay a little bit more indoors. And that is perfectly normal. So do take plenty of rest and everything you need that feels just good for you and your body during the winter. But I wanted to offer this class today, this yoga flow that is going to be quite gentle, but it is still a vinyasa dynamic class. So we're going to be moving through sequences, breath, and different poses that I will be guiding you. So let's begin by just sitting on the mat. Take a moment to arrive. You might want to grab some water, or I have my little afternoon coffee here with me, and I've just put some nice flowers and candles and things that I like. I'm also next to the radiator here, so I am nice and warm. So sitting on the mat in any position that feels good. I'm cross-legged, but you might want to just, be sitting like this or on your heels, whatever feels good as we start. And letting your face soften a little bit. Releasing the tension, especially around the mouth and jaw. But also the space here between the eyebrows, just letting the whole face hang a little bit, and shoulders, upper back as well. Tuning into the breath, not changing anything about the way you breathe, but just becoming aware of your inhalations and exhalations here. Taking a few rounds of mindful breath together. It might feel nice to close the eyes or just having a soft gaze here in front of you. Breathe in your own time. As I go through a little body scan here. Upper body is straight and at ease, yet alive, right? Feet and legs and sitting bones here are touching the mat. Breathing oxygen into all the cells of our body as we start the practice today. And the practice of yoga really is about creating space in the body, feeling good inside and out. And I think it's just all a little bit about self-love, right? So that's the intention today. Coming onto all fours on your mats when you are ready. Hands are stacked under the shoulders and knees under the hips. Fingers are spread wide. The palms of the hands are flat on the ground. Inhale as you look up and arch your back. Exhale as you round your back, drop the head. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, look up, and exhale, drop it down. Continue these lovely, generous cat-cow movements in your own time. warming up the spine. And eventually come back to neutral when you are ready. Coming into child's pose, so taking the knees wider, sitting on the heels. Forehead comes on the mat. I'm gonna take my glasses off here, that's better. And the arms can be extended as such. Or you might want to take the hands under the head as a pillow. Breathing into the hips and lower back here. Taking the tongue away from the roof of your mouth. Shoulders and upper back is not resisting. We're letting the full body be heavy and sort of fold over like a marshmallow. Letting yourself be still. And with each breath, sinking a little bit lower into the earth. And on your next inhale, bring yourself just ever so slightly up on your fingertips. And slide your left arm under right armpit. Side of face comes to rest on the mat. For a thread the needle here. And doing the same on the other side. Right arm slides under left armpit. Side of face rests on the mat. And we should feel quite nice and open now in the hips, just as we start. Coming back to a tabletop. Bring your knees slightly closer together again. Bringing your attention onto your hips and starting to do a figure of 8. Circular movements, figure of 8 with the hips. And really pushing the floor away with the arms. And you might want to take it really big and almost onto the sides, looking under the armpits. As you do your circular motions here. Let your body guide you. Maybe you don't want to do a figure of 8 anymore, but just do any free flow movement with the hips that feels nice and juicy for you. So do not judge, just let yourself flow here. Back to center in tabletop. Bring your hands slightly closer to the front of the mat, extend the arms, and bring either your forehead or your nose onto the mat for an extended puppy pose. Really breathe into the back here and shoulder area. This is quite a stretch. Stay here for a couple of breaths. One more together. Inhale. And let the breath go. Very gently with the fingertips push the floor away and walk yourself back up to a tabletop. Now tuck your toes under. Hands are nice and flat on the mat. Fingers are spread. And now take your knees off and bring your bum all the way up to the ceiling. You're looking between your thighs, bending knees, and feet are slightly apart. Here in down dog, bending one knee then the other. Supporting yourself with the breath. And you want your chest to be quite close to your thighs, so we are bending the knees. Now look between your hands and walk yourself to the front of the mat. And very gently bring yourself up vertebra by vertebra. Take hands overhead, look up between hands in prayer, and all the way down we fold. Inhale, half lift, hands on shins. Exhale, come into plank. We're gonna hold it for 3 breaths together. Inhaling and exhaling here, pushing the floor away. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling. Exhaling. Gently bringing the knees first onto the mat. Elbows tucked in and come all the way down. And cobra. Forearms on the mat. And bring yourself into down dog. Still walking the dog here. Very nice. Look in between hands, walk to the front of the mat. And put your hands under your feet. Give yourself a moment here. You can sway side to side. That might feel very nice and relaxing. This is gorilla pose. I quite like that one. Bending the knees here is quite nice too at the beginning of practice. And inhaling, bring yourself all the way up. Extend arms overhead. And exhale, come into plank as you forward fold. Knees down. Bring yourself all the way down to the mat and up dog. Come into down dog. Option to have the knees bent or straight this time, whatever your body needs. Bring your feet slightly closer together and lift your right foot. Look between hands and step the foot at the front of the mat. Low lunge. Hips are relatively square. Coming into half splits. If you have blocks, you can use 2 blocks here or just have the fingertips touching the floor. Breathing into the parts of the body that need it, where you feel the stretch. Coming into lizard, take your right foot slightly wider out and lift the back knee off the floor. Hands are at the front in alignment with your right foot. Great hip opener here. Really feeling held by the earth this winter. And now come into tabletop and then child's pose. Forehead on mat. Our body and our mind and our spirit is connected to the earth and the seasons and everything happening around us. So give yourself that time. We see it around us at the moment. No more leaves on the trees. Things are looking a little bit in a shift period, right? Nature is gathering its strength and preparing for spring. And so are we, doing the groundwork, preparing the year ahead and what we want to be doing and who we want to be, right? So give yourself that time. Inhale, come up into tabletop. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, tuck toes under and lift yourself up to down dog. Knees bent or not here. Bring feet closer together and lift your left foot up this time. Look between hands and slide that foot at the front. Coming into low lunge on the other side. Letting the breath flow freely within you. Shoulders away from the ears. And transitioning into half splits. Flexing that foot, sinking deeper into the mat. Coming into lizard. Come into tabletop, then straight into puppy pose. So arms are extended in front of mat, and we're touching the floor with either our nose or forehead or even chin. See what feels good. Allowing ourselves to grow and transform and open up within our own bodies and mind. Creating new energy within. Inhale and come up to your tabletop. Down dog. Look between your hands and come at the front of the mat. Inhale, come all the way up. Extend arms overhead. And exhale, hands in prayer, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, come into plank. This time, option of not putting the knees down, tucking elbows in, and coming all the way down. Up dog. And down dog. Lifting right foot up and slide it between hands in front of mat. Coming into high lunge. Squeezing those glutes and core for more balance. Take your hands into prayer. Look onto your right and then come down onto the thigh for a side twist. And back to the center and come into warrior two. Flip the hand, reverse warrior. And bend the front foot. Come into triangle. Beautiful. Step into your plank. Chaturanga. Knees down or not. Up dog. And down dog. Feet closer together and lift the left foot up. Look between hands, step it between the hands. High lunge on this side. And you can fix a point in front of you to help with balance. The drishti, we call it in yoga. Helps to focus. And stay as we are in the present moment. Taking the hands into prayer, Anjali Mudra, twisting to the left, and bring yourself down onto the thigh. Beautiful side twist. Coming up to Warrior Two. Supporting yourself with your breath. And flipping the hand, coming into Reverse Warrior. Into triangle, straighten that front foot. And when you're ready, come down into the pose. And come to the front of the mat into Ragdoll. Let yourself relax here for a moment. Letting the head and neck really be loose and hang there. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands overhead, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, jump into your plank. I think I'm going to take my socks off now as we're starting to move. They're not really keeping up with me. So into our plank. Coming all the way down, knees or without the knees. Up dog. Down dog. Look between your hands and jump to the front of the mat. Come into chair pose. Feet can be together or slightly apart. Bum is sinking down towards the floor as if we'd be sitting into a chair. And the upper body is not leaning down, it's rather straight. And for a little extra, come onto the toes. Nice, heels down. Come into Warrior Three. Right foot is planted firmly and left foot is up. Hands can be in prayer or alongside you. Fixing something on the floor will help you. Beautiful. Coming into half split. Standing splits, actually. Really breathing now into the body because we're firing up those legs. Nice. Coming into Malasana, the yogi squat. Taking the feet quite wide out. Hands in prayer and coming here lower, close to the ground. And transitioning into down dog. Looking between the thighs. And walking the dog, bend one knee, then the other. Breathing fully into body. Looking between the hands, coming to the front of the mat. And into chair pose again. Can you sink a little bit lower here? Prepare to come into warrior 3. Squeezing that right glute so the leg can be nice and high up. Finding the center within your own self here. And now taking your feet a little bit wider here on one side of your mat. Toes slightly inward. And then coming all the way down with the hands. You might want to take your feet even further apart. Dropping the head. Staying here for one more breath. Very gently push the floor away and walk your feet back together. And come sit on the mat. Lovely. If you have a little bit of water or a drink, please feel free to grab that now. Alright. Now, coming into your boat pose. Feet off the mat, knees slightly bent. Palms up, hands alongside the body. Breathing here into the core, using Ujjayi breath. And then one heel touches floor, and the other. One more time, right heel, and left heel. With control, come all the way down. Very nice. Take a full body stretch here. Really nice and long, as if you're trying to reach the room here with your fingertips and toes. Take your knees into chest. Rock yourself side to side. Massage the lower back here as well. That's quite nice. Continuing with the Ujjayi breath. In yoga we do that quite a lot. The Ujjayi breath is quite an audible breath that you can hear coming from the back of the throat. Sounds a bit like the waves of the ocean. And now taking the knees out to each side. And feel free to have your hands actually under the bum, that's quite nice. We're not going to be moving anymore for a little while. You've done really well. Felt nice to move the body right. Now that we've created this space, this energy within, it is lovely to be still. Let all that goodness sink in and flow through you. You're welcome to close your eyes here or just have a soft gaze. Your face is completely relaxed. Your shoulders, your upper back, your chest and stomach area. Your lower back, hips and glutes are relaxed. And now I'm going to invite you to just straighten your legs, take the hands away. So we're coming into Shavasana, our final pose of the day. So the legs are a little bit apart. You should be able to touch your toes. If you try to put them in, they shouldn't be touching. Arms are alongside the body, quite close to the body. Palms facing up. And you're welcome to move your head just ever so slightly to the right and then to the left. Just to create a bit more space before we enjoy Shavasana, resting pose in stillness. As you relax here for a few minutes, I invite you to listen to the sound of my voice to guide you. We are always doing our best in our daily lives. And know that just as in nature, we have our seasons and our cycles. You may have really, really good days. And you may also have days where you just feel a little lower. And that is okay. You always have the power to recharge yourself. You have all the tools. You are very capable. You can create anything you want in your life. That is literally the truth for everybody on this earth. So just know that whilst we are in this period of January, February, March season, the winter time after the new year and just before spring, it is a very potent time for you to plant the seeds of what you want to do, what you'd like to create and manifest and call into your life. And as we close this relaxation, give yourself gratitude for the practice that you did today for yourself. That was beautiful. Now start to just very gently move your chest, still with your eyes closed or half closed. Ever so gently come onto one side and bring yourself up to seating on your mat. Rub the palms of your hands together to create heat. Place them on your eyes